What's going on, guys? Welcome. Let's talk about how to deal with people in difficult conversations without losing your cool, especially if the person is triggered or emotional. This can be personally or professionally as well. And there are a few mistakes that so many people make that keeps them frustrated. It keeps you in a loop and cycle of overthinking, especially after the interaction. Now, if you're here, you probably want to develop an executive presence. You are becoming a grounded communicator. So thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's talk about what not to do and what to do. So I hope you have your notebook handy as always. Let's go. The first mistake. So let's talk about what to avoid. What you want to avoid, firstly, is reacting. Now, let's talk about what reacting means. I hope you guys can read that. Cool. Reacting means allowing yourself to manifest the trigger that you have. Now, pay close attention. Allowing yourself to manifest, to communicate the trigger that you have. I am not saying that you should not feel any emotions come up. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel triggered. You're a human being. Remember that. Emotions are human. Therefore, it's not about suppressing your emotions, but rather getting very comfortable with having them inside of you, for lack of a better way of expressing that, for having the emotions inside of you. What I mean by don't allow them to manifest is if you feel a trigger, your reaction might be to bite back, to attack the other person, to get defensive, which is something else you want to avoid. Getting defensive. Okay? And biting back. I really hope you guys can read that. Should do. What happens when you react and then you start getting defensive and you start biting back? You start attacking the other person. You have now stooped to that level of lower consciousness that the other person is probably in at the moment. You don't want to be in that state as well. You cannot fight fire with fire. Now, here's what a lot of people think they need to do. They need to cool things down through force. Just calm down. Let's just relax for a second. When you tell the person to calm down, telling the person to calm down. This is what, remember, this is what to avoid, what not to do. When you directly tell the person to calm down, what do you think is going to happen? How often have you been in an argument, an interaction, where somebody has asked you, let me turn the brightness up a little bit. Hopefully that's better. How many times have you been in an argument, for example, where the person asked you to calm down and, ooh, it actually worked like magic? No, it usually pisses us off more than anything. So don't react. Don't tell the person to calm down. What you want to do instead, I just got these new sheets recently. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So what you want to do instead, what to do? First of all, remain grounded. And by the way, if you don't know how to get grounded, if you don't know what that means, then you should probably watch my other videos on the channel. So make sure you like this so it continues showing up on your feed. Go check the channel out. But I'll briefly touch on it. Being grounded means, of course, not being reactive. It means being stable in your responses. You want to respond rather than react. And let's talk about the difference. Respond, don't react. The difference between a response and a reaction is a response is conscious, okay? Whereas a reaction is compulsive, meaning it's out of control. You don't have a sense of control when you're being reactive and compulsive. Instead, if you're, and let's get very practical about this as well. You're probably wondering, all right, well, what does this look like when I'm in the heat of the conversation? It looks like making sure your nervous system is settled, okay? Making sure you're breathing in a comfortable, relaxed, deep way. So don't dismiss this, because I know you probably hear it a lot in the personal development space. Breathe deep, meditate, but give it a chance. So make sure you're breathing deep. And make sure your muscles are relaxed. Now, why? Why, in the midst of an argument or discussion, heated discussion, do you want to breathe and you want your muscles to relax? What the hell is that going to do for me, Shako? Let me explain. A great book on this, by the way, is Crucial Conversations by, I forgot the author because it's multiple authors, but Crucial Conversations. Fantastic book. It's explained, and this is scientifically backed, that when we are in an argument, when things get heated, when emotions run high, blood drains from the brain and goes into our limbs, which is why some people start shaking when they get angry or stressed. The blood actually goes out of your head, making it harder to think rationally. We can counteract that by breathing deep and relaxing the muscles, because when you breathe deep, it slows down your heart rate. You can test it. If you have an Apple Watch, check your heart rate, do some box breathing. That's 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds out slowly, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, and so on and so forth. Do that for 30 seconds and watch your heart rate go down. When your heart rate goes down, that is sending a signal to the brain that you are safe. Okay? You are no longer in fight or flight, which is where reactivity comes from. So if you can train yourself, by the way, it doesn't have to be big exaggerated breaths like in the midst of a heated conversation. It can be subtle. Subtle. Don't raise the shoulders, just expand the belly, relax the belly. That's the breath. It slows down the heart rate, making you more relaxed and comfortable. The muscles, when we're stressed, they get tense. So if you consciously relax them, especially the shoulders, the jaw, and the face, you'll find that your physiology will impact your psychology. It'll impact how you feel, making it much, much easier for you to deal with the other person. All right, next practical tip is be curious and ask questions. When somebody asks us questions, not because they're trying to corner us, but because they're curious, why is it that that upset you? Okay, how do you see it? How did that affect you? I'm curious. I want to know. How did that affect you? Right. And what would you have preferred? Just so I understand. When you become curious and you ask good questions, open-ended questions as well. How did that affect you? not did that upset you? Open-ended questions. This allows the person an opportunity to elaborate, to share with you why they're upset. This will do way more and is more effective at cooling down and calming down the situation compared to the previous slide, which is telling people to calm down. Because people actually feel now, wow, this person's trying to understand me. Now I can play ball. I can actually work with that. That's how the brain works. By the way, if you want help with specific situations that you go through at work, in your personal life, and you want guidance from our team, myself, professional help, you can book a free 10-minute communication audit in the description below. So we will help you. We can work with you at a professional capacity if you're interested. Now, being grounded is a superpower. It's a game changer. I know you're working on becoming a grounded communicator. Keep these things in mind. I would actually argue that more important than this is being aware of what to avoid. Avoiding these mistakes, because it is so easy to fall into reactivity, getting defensive, attacking, justifying, reacting compulsively when our ego gets hit. That's what happens when we're in an emotional discussion or argument. That's not only what you're experiencing, that's what the other person is experiencing, my friend. Therefore, you be the bigger man, the bigger woman, and start listening. Don't react, start paying attention and slow down. That's actually something else that you can do as well. This is huge. Slow down. Slow down your communication, meaning you're breathing deeper now. Speak a little bit slower with a bit of a lower tone. That'll help dramatically. You are bringing their guard down by relaxing your own physiology. Notice that we're taking full responsibility for our own reactions before thinking about what to do to the other person. That is what it means to be a great communicator, taking full accountability and self-responsibility. Again, if you enjoyed this and you want to work with us, you can book a call with us in the description. If you enjoy this video, leave a comment, a like. Thank you so much. I'm back in Dubai, as you can see. See you next week.